weeks, no mess. Comb in, and your natural hair color is back. Lip Dark, just for men, honestly.
Everybody, welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Steph Severano, Miserable Liberal, and Ron Falcone.
Howdy.
Hey, look at that nice T-shirt Steph's got on. You can get that T-shirt. Click our link to our store, which is beneath this video. Hillary Clinton is making the rounds promoting her book, and she will not be silenced. So I love how she comes out and she writes this new book, which again, nobody needs to hear. And she's just ripping open old wounds, ripping the scab off of old wounds. She's blaming everybody else again, blaming everybody else for her unbelievable failure. You know, if I was a track star and I was at the biggest track school in the country, whatever school that is, the University of School of Track, and I was their track person they put out, and I was running against a one-legged guy, and I lost. I'd fucking shut up. Because that's what she did. She lost to a guy with one leg, and she from the best track school. So, here she is.
Senator Sanders on TV yesterday defending himself from what you have said in your book. I'm wondering, why did you go there, reopening a barely healed wound in your own party? Frankly, one that's stepped on your own headlines. Oh, I don't agree with that. I wanted to tell what happened, and the primary was part of what happened.
Oh, I love that right off the bat. Oh, I don't agree with your assessment of reality. I have an alternative reality that I got from my bubble. Right away, first thing is, I don't agree with all those things that you said that are obviously true. I don't agree with any of that. I'm just gonna make up an alternative reality, and here we go. That's what she just did. I don't agree with any of that.
I won a landslide victory in the primary.
You started with a 60-point lead on Bernie Sanders, an unknown senator from a small state with no money and no charisma, and he was 70-something years old, and he almost caught you. He won 23 states. 23 states. So that's what she calls a landslide, Ron?
Yeah, hey, that's something her and Trump have in common, is their concept of a victory.
Ha!
I know what it's like to win, and I know what it's like to lose. And when I lost to Barack Obama, I immediately turned around. I endorsed him. I worked for him. I convinced my supporters to vote for him.
Okay, that's all bullshit. Hillary Clinton stayed in the primary. In fact, people were going nuts that she wouldn't drop out. And she kept going. In fact, she even said that Bobby Kennedy was shot, got assassinated in June.
And people have been trying to push me out of this ever since Iowa.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I find it curious because it is
This is her making the case why she should stay in the primary, even though everybody knows she's lost already.
unprecedented in history. I don't understand it. And, between my opponent in his camp and some in the media, there has been this urgency to end this. And, historically that makes no sense. So I find it a bit of a mystery.
You don't buy the party unity argument.
I don't, because
you don't buy the unity argument. All the things that they said to Bernie, every goddamn thing they said, we got to unite, you got to fight Trump, you got to come together, you got to quit attacking her, we got to drop out. And she's like, nope, I don't buy it.
yeah, I've been around long enough. And my husband did not wrap up the nomination in 1992 until he won the California primary somewhere in the middle of June, right? We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California.
So hopefully Barack Obama will get shot.
That was so not okay.
That's what she's saying.
Just so
she's
not
saying,
okay.
So you never know. There could be an assassination. That's why I'm staying in the race. That's what she just said. She just said she's staying in the race because there might be an assassination. And she's got the balls. Yes, she does. Yes, she does have the balls to go out and say that. She stayed in the 2000 primary to the end, Ron, because it was the right thing to do, but it was wrong when Bernie did it.
Yep.
You know how politics work. The less popular you are, the longer you should stay in the primary. So, I just want to also show you this. This is from the New York Times. This is from June of 2008. The long road to a Clinton exit. It's from June of 2008. A long road to a Clinton exit. And underneath there, it says right there, it says, after a cascading series of defeats, Hillary Rodham Clinton's 3-month effort to salvage her campaign failed. The campaign shifted to a contest for the superdelegates. When she saw she was losing the popular vote, she switched to try to get superdelegates to swing the election to her way. Or party elders and elected officials like Mr. Altmaier, who can vote at the convention. Mrs. Clinton was too far behind to catch up to Mr. Obama among delegates selected by primaries and caucuses, so she hoped to persuade the superdelegates that she would be the stronger candidate in the fall. Only then did she agree to start calling superdelegates personally, something Mr. Obama had been doing for months. And as they tried to master a new political era, the Clintons demanded loyalty from those who once surrounded them and felt betrayed by people they assumed would be with them again. What hurt them was their sense of entitlement, that the presidency was theirs and all the acolytes should fall in line, said Governor Bill Richardson of New Mexico, a former Clinton cabinet officer who endorsed Obama only to be branded a Judas by James Carville, the architect of Mr. Clinton's original rise to power. Instead of accepting it, they turned on the acolytes. It was their war room mentality to attack when something doesn't go their way, and it just reminded me of the old days. By last week, though, anger had given way to resignation. Even before the final primaries on Tuesday, aides said Mrs. Clinton knew she could not continue, but she told them she would not concede that evening in her college gymnasium where she was to give her speech celebrating victory in South Dakota. She and her supporters, she told aides, had earned the right to their own day, and she planned to take 2 weeks to think through her options. The next day, though, Democratic supporters in Congress pressed her on a conference call to give up quickly. She gave in, hung up, and asked top advisors to prepare a plan to withdraw. They met with her at campaign headquarters, where every member of her inner circle recommended she pull out and endorse Mr. Obama without preconditions or negotiations. Every member, except for Mark Penn, who said she should hold out for concessions. So just so you know, Hillary Clinton is a pathological liar. Okay? That's not hyperbole. That's not an exaggeration. That's not me being mean. She is a pathological liar. What does is mean? She is a pathological liar. And that's why it just grosses me out to see her come back. Just go away. Just go away. You want to see the rest of that stupid stuff she had to say?
I want to point out real quick, I like how Bill Richardson said that their sense of entitlement, referring to the Clinton campaign, their sense of entitlement hurt them. Those that don't learn from history, huh?
I know what it's like to win, and I know what it's like to lose. And when I lost to Barack Obama, I immediately immediately turned around. I endorsed him. I worked for him. I convinced myself.
So now you know that's all bullshit. She can't help herself. She's a sociopathic, narcissistic, pathological liar.
Orders to vote for him. I didn't get the same respect from my primary opponent.
She's a victim. She's a victim.
When he went campaign for her, that although he wasn't able to fill gymnasiums when he was stomping for her, she didn't get enough support from him.
More Bernie primary voters voted for Clinton in the general than Clinton supporters in the primary in 08 voted for Barack Obama.
It's 25%. You're right, Ron. Did you know that 25% of Hillary Clinton voters in 2008 in the primary, 25% of the people who voted for her against Barack Obama did not vote for Barack Obama? Did you know that? And Obama still won in a landslide?
An actual landslide. Not a Clinton.
Yeah,
Trump
not a Clinton pretend. He actually did win in a landslide, even though 25% of Hillary's primary voters did not vote for Barack Obama. And somehow, Hillary still manages to write an entire book blaming progressives.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
And a lot of his supporters continue to harass and really go after my supporters all the time. And
this is just this fantasy. This is just lying. This is just abject, bald-faced lying. Did people attack people on Twitter? Are people mean to each other in social media all day, every day? All day, every day. But it only counts when someone does it to you because you're a narcissistic, sociopathic, pathological liar. So that's when it only matters. That's what a narcissist says. And that's what she is. It only matters when it happened to her. It didn't matter that the entire press, the entire establishment press, was smearing and slandering Bernie Sanders, along with every Democrat in the country, besides Tulsi Gabbard and Keith Ellison.
Not to mention her advisor smears Bernie and other progressives on a daily basis, and founded a media venture dedicated to the cause.
that feeds in, I think, to the whole sexism and misogyny part of this campaign.
Yes, this feeds into the whole sexism and misogyny part of the campaign. My campaign against Barack Obama just focused mostly on his race.
Yeah, people love to forget about that, too.
People love to forget about that. She's a despicable person. This is living proof of it.
And it really seems like she's going away. Right? Like, the title of that last article was Hillary Clinton's long exit. It is September 2017. She's still here. She's still on her way out. She's on her way out just to come back. She's going to run for president again.
I love how she talks about how she was she did everything super right, even though I just showed you that's a lie. I endorsed Barack Obama. I supported him. First, I spread a bunch of racist stuff in Pennsylvania and made light of the idea of him being shot. But once I lost, I was a team player. This is who Hillary Clinton is. Isn't this disgusting? Like, if you had any dignity, and she has no dignity, then this is someone who has no dignity or integrity. She doesn't have any.
I had large groups of supporters who had to be private because if they lifted their head up online, they were responding on a YouTube comment chain or on Twitter to something, they were just attacked, and the attacks were so sexist about.
I mean, this is just psychopathic pathology or psychopathy. I don't know what the word is, but it's just a psychotic. There's just, oh my God, this Bernie Sanders, progressives are so racists. They're so misogynist, they're racist, they're sexist. That's the worst thing you could say about somebody, and she does it so flippantly. You know who's a fucking sexist? Your husband. You know who was a sexual predator in the White House? Your fucking husband. who took advantage of 20-some-year-old interns and jizzed on their dresses. That's what your husband did. He jizzed on an intern's dress. If you're going to talk about misogyny and sexism because of what people said on a YouTube comment thread, you know most of those people are fucking 12 years old. It's unbelievable. This is mind-blowing.
Yeah. Well, I love how the media was mean. I mean, bringing Bill into this. The media was really mean to Hillary Clinton. You mean the media her husband made possible? It's got to be awkward going to bed for them.
The media was in the tank for Hillary Clinton. The media, the entire establishment Democratic Party was in the tank. The person who got smeared was the lefty, which was Bernie Sanders. We all know that. Same thing happened to Jeremy Corbyn in England. We know this.
You're supporting a woman because you're a woman, and it just never really got to the
These are the Bernie bros.
So well, yes, and they're still out there, and they're and
she's still doing it. She still won't shut the fuck up.
And this is all because she lost the nomination.
Yeah, no, she didn't lose the nomination.
Oh, what? She didn't lose the nomination?
She won the nomination.
And she's talking like this?
And she's still talking like this. She won the nomination. You lost to Donald Trump. Wow.
I also make the point, look, why give them material? Why not let them concentrate on the Trump administration?
Well, I'm concentrating on the Trump administration.
You know, after I sit here for the millionth time and call Bernie Sanders and all the progressives in my own party, half of my own party, after I get done calling them sexist and misogynists, after I get done doing that, I'll probably call them violent in a minute. After I get doing that, then I'm going to focus on Trump. But I'm totally focusing on Trump. She can't caught out in real time. She's called out, caught lying in real time. She's such a fucking liar. She can't. This is unbelievable.
Oh, I'm completely focused on Trump. Completely. Did I just finish saying Trump or Bernie?
There is a bill that we're going to learn the details of tomorrow, as of the recording of this, that is hopefully going to be a single-payer health care bill, and it's being talked about, and hopefully we're going to have some more allies on it. That's what Bernie Sanders is up to right now. What's Hillary Clinton doing while this is going on? She's promoting herself on a book tour. If that doesn't speak volumes, I don't know what does.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders is getting ready to introduce, or is going to introduce today, his single-payer health care bill, which he's rallied Democrats to, finally. Finally, he's got like 8 now co-sponsors, formerly corporatist Democrats, to come on. Half the House Democrats are already on board with the John Conyers bill. So while Bernie does a tour around the country promoting Medicare for all, Hillary Clinton is doing a tour around the country promoting herself again, and her book, and shitting on Bernie Sanders. Has Bernie Sanders said a goddamn thing about Hillary Clinton since the primary? No. Not a goddamn thing about her or her fucking supporters. This is it. She's still trying to convince the whole world she's a victim. She's a 100 billionaire who voted for the Iraq War, Libya, Honduras, gave plutonium to the Russians, then got the xenophobic scare to cover for her incompetence. This person is a psychopath. And she's not stopping. She is a psychopath.
And I am proud to be a Democrat. A Democrat for decades. I have supported Democrats. I've worked for Democrats.
Even when I was on the board of Walmart, I still pretended I was a Democrat. Even when I was gutting welfare and exploding the prison population and calling black people super predators, I was still a Democrat. Even as my husband made it a secret deal to privatize Social Security and repeal the New Deal banking regulations, which would crash our economy 10 years later, I still called myself a Democrat. Even as I went along with Dick Cheney and George Bush with the illegal war in Iraq, I called myself a Democrat. Even when I voted to screw people with the bankruptcy reform bill that means a bank can hound you till you're dead, I called myself a Democrat. Even as I voted for the Patriot Act, which created the United States into a surveillance state, I called myself a Democrat. You know, most people in America, overwhelming majority of people, don't call themselves a Democrat or a Republican. Did Did you know that? Most people call themselves an independent. 29% of the fucking country calls themselves a Democrat. You sociopath.
Bernie's not a Democrat. And that's not a slam. That's what he says himself. And
no, that's a stupid thing for you to keep bringing up. Because anybody who wasn't completely corrupted by Wall Street cash would try to get that guy to call himself a Democrat. Because he's the most popular politician in the goddamn country. But he would upset the status quo, so you got to keep saying that. So again, you're doing the work of the right wing. This is what the right wing would do. Yeah, that guy who's really popular, he's not a Democrat. Democrats don't want anything to do with him. Why would you vote for Democrats? They don't want to help you. Bernie wants to help you, and they don't want Bernie.
I think a lot of what he churned up in the primary campaign was very hurtful in the general election against me. And
you lost to Trump. You're a loser. People hate you. You're repulsive. You're a bad politician, and you're a worse person. And you're not a victim. And anybody who can't see this, who still props this up, is also a gullible person who's hurting the country. And that's official.
Well, she's absolutely dividing. You know, she wants to continue to divide the party. Whatever party's left, you know, that we have right now.
Hey, this is living proof that she would rather lose to Republicans than let a progressive win. This is living proof of how scummy these cretins are.
See him doing the same thing. I see him, you know, with his supporters. He doesn't disown the things they say about him. You know, some of my favorite Democrats, people like Kamala Harris, who is out there speaking up and speaking out, and she's being attacked.
She's being attacked for, you know, doing the exact same things I did, going to the donor meetings at the Hamptons and getting approval by the corporatists.
Okay, let's be perfectly clear. We're not attacking these politicians. We are criticizing them and holding them accountable. So when I hold somebody accountable, I'm not attacking you. I'm holding you accountable for your shitty policy.
Now you're talking like this is a democracy or something. I don't know. You're making me uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. Did I attack you right now?
I need a safe space.
She won't stop with the misogyny and sexist. Progressives are sexist and misogynist. Bernie's a bad person.
Bernie's a bad person.
Bernie's a bad person.
She won the nomination. She lost to Donald Trump, but she's talking about Bernie and his
Bernie
supporters.
is so powerful, he couldn't beat her in the primary, but he's powerful enough to make her lose the general.
Apparently.
Even when he's campaigning for her.
Even when he's campaigning for her. She's a horrible person. She's a horrible person. There's no doubt about that.
She looks fantastic.
And she does look fantastic, but she is a psychopath. She's a psychopath. There's nothing. This is the opposite of leadership. This is the opposite of healing. This is the opposite of bringing the country together. This is the opposite of moving forward. This is the opposite of helping her party. This is the opposite of all that stuff.
She's not even talking about the better deal.
No. But you see how much she's focused on Trump, right? She's totally focused on Trump. So she can't go around the rest of her life being known as the person who lost to Trump. So she has to go around, hopefully, if I keep saying it over and over and over and over, people will see me as some kind of a victim. Someone who had $2 billion to spend. Someone who had every Democratic politician in their pocket. Somebody who had the establishment press in their pocket. Somebody who had the White House in their pocket. Somehow she is a victim. And it's just, you know, there's not enough adjectives to say how disgusting of a person she's being right now. There isn't. There really isn't. I mean, there's a million different ways she's being the opposite of a leader, the opposite of a healer. She's being immature. I mean, these are the nicest things you can say about her. I don't know. I'll stop saying it. Anybody?
Narcissist.
Yeah.
This is just by the book narcissism.
This is by the book narcissism. Go read about what narcissists do, and then you go, oh my God, it's Hillary Clinton. Hey everybody, we have 2 live Jimmy Dore shows in September. September 25th, we're in San Diego. And September 18th in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right there. There's a link right there.
Life is about humbleness. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight. You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings. You have that real look in your eye. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question. Did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself? What you say, Blade? So whatever you want to do, play. Leave your mark on this world.
When something good happens, travel to celebrate. When something bad happens, travel to forget. And when nothing happens, travel to make something happen.
Everybody, welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. We have a special guest. Our special guest, very smart guy, great writer. He's super accomplished. It's Ian Gerbitz. He's a native New Yorker who's lived in Los Angeles for the last 30 years, working in television as a writer, director, and executive producer. He's produced over 300